This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and continuing on the discussion of these new consoles, I'm starting to see people complain about the space filling up very, very fast, which no surprise at all. So for those who don't know, the Xbox Series S and X and the PlayStation 5 both come with about a terabyte of hard drive space. The Xbox consoles being the only one that technically does come with a terabyte, because the PlayStation 5, for those who don't know, comes with an 825 gigabyte SSD hard drive that uses the NVMe, Jesus, tongue twister, hard drives. The Xbox Series consoles use the same, but of course, when you get the consoles, there's preloaded stuff, operating system in particular. So I think they said the Xbox Series consoles, it roughly ended up being about 750, 850 free space or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I cannot remember the exact numbers at the moment, but I believe it was roughly in that time, in that size frame that was actually available. And with the PlayStation, it was around 700, 750 space available, maybe a little less. Again, don't quote me on that because I don't have the exact figures in front of me. So you had a good chunk of your hard drive space already occupied by things, which made it a lot easier to fill these things up because these games are huge, y'all. Even in the PS4 era, we recognized just how much bigger games were, with more intense graphics, more detailing, people screaming for the 60 frames per second gameplay. Microsoft themselves having games go up to 120 right now in frames per second. Ray tracing, all these bells and whistles, HDR, 4K, all these neat bells and whistles that a lot of people go around here trying to fight back and forth between each other. These things take up a lot of space, y'all. And again, we saw it in the previous generation with the Xbox One series of consoles and the PlayStation 4 consoles. Battlefield games. I don't think that there was a Battlefield game in that generation that, even without DLC, didn't hit 100 gigabytes at some point in time. Grand Theft Auto, I think that's 120, maybe even more. Hell, Call of Duty Warzone, they dumped so many updates on that thing on top of it that shit ballooned so bad. These games are big, with all the content that you want to get out of these games and all the bells and whistles. These things don't come in small. It's not like back in the day where 8-bit cartridges, 16-bit cartridges, you probably had kilobytes of information on most of them. We ain't there. We're not there anymore. So these games are filling up quicker, and now people want the Xbox Series versions of games or the PlayStation 5 series of games where they'll do everything like I've aforementioned, the 4K HDR, ray tracing, etc., etc. It's adding even more to it. And so at the end of the day, it's not a surprise to see people pretty much having their consoles filled, especially with backwards compatibility. Because a lot of you, especially if you have an Xbox console,
are just downloading old game after old game after old game that you've owned just to see how much better it plays and stuff like that. Shit fills up quickly. Even those games from, you know, the 360 era, they're not that big, but they accumulate space as you do more and more. And so you have the more recent games that are made for those consoles, coupled with the previous generation, and in the case of the Xbox consoles, from like older generations still, you're gonna accumulate a lot of space. You probably aren't getting that many games on there, and there's expansion options. Yes, you can have, you know, external hard drives, or you can add expansion. Microsoft has their own proprietary expansion card that you can get if you want to get it now to add another. I believe it's just another 1 terabyte to your console. Sony lets you get third market approved uh, SSDs, but those expansion options aren't cheap. They're expensive. Yeah, externals aren't as expensive anymore, but those aren't going to be as fast as the internal expansions, which is part of what makes these games run the way they want. Because both companies have pretty much come and said, I believe, although I'm not sure on Microsoft, that you can't run a current gen version of the game on an external. You need the NVMe SSD to make it run because it utilize that is what helps it run the way that it runs. So it's just expensive to upgrade, yo. Like looking at the third market, I just saw recently a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD drive come out, and that shit's $300. $300. You know how much you can get? How much you can get for that if you wanted to do just a regular mechanical hard drive? I believe you don't even need that much to get like a fucking 4 or 6 terabyte internal mechanical hard drive. But the new technology demands that pricing, so yeah. Um, so game management is going to become a much bigger thing. It was already a big thing, at least for me with the PlayStation 4. It's going to become a much bigger thing with these newer consoles, for sure. You're going to have to decide what game needs to reside. And if you're a Call of Duty Warzone player, may God have mercy on your soul, because that's going to make it even harder. I'm so glad I never got into that game, because that's a, god damn it. They got so many updates on that. But yeah, it's not enough space, and it's probably never going to be, even with you going out and buying external hard drives or expanding your memory with these internal options. The reality is, games are probably going to just continue to get bigger as they add more and more to meet the demands of getting the best performance, the best quality of fidelity. And god damn it, this is the second video that this goddamn Echo has interrupted with the timer that I've set. Alexa, dismiss timer. I really need to like have better timing with these videos, but yeah, um, that's the world we live in now. Like space, even on PC, people. Trust me, I know, because I'm going through the motions right now myself, trying to figure out what game I'm gonna install next on my PC, or what I need to take off, or what I need to clean out to make sure I can install this next game. Yeah, it's the price you pay for the things that you want, you know? Anyway, as always, you guys, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Blak, Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.